The Yellowstone franchise has already proven that it's one of the most powerful television brands of the last decade. What started as a single modern Western about the Dutton family quickly expanded into a full universe of interconnected stories. Spin-offs like 1883 and 1923 showed that audiences were eager to explore different time periods and perspectives within the same world. But now, with the arrival of Marshals, the franchise is experimenting with something just as important as expanding its story, expanding where those stories are shown. For years, the Yellowstone universe has primarily lived on cable networks and streaming platforms. That strategy worked incredibly well, helping the franchise build a loyal and passionate fan base. But the success of Marshals on network television suggests something very important. The Yellowstone franchise might actually benefit from bringing more of its stories to traditional broadcast TV. One of the biggest reasons is simple: accessibility. Network television still reaches millions of viewers who may not subscribe to cable packages or streaming services. While streaming platforms have grown tremendously in popularity, they still require subscriptions that some viewers either can't afford or simply choose not to pay for. Network TV removes that barrier. When a Yellowstone-related show airs on a broadcast network, it instantly becomes available to a much wider audience. That matters because the Yellowstone brand has already proven it can attract viewers from many different demographics. Some fans watch for the Western setting, others for the family drama, and many simply enjoy the intense power struggles that define the series. By placing more shows on network TV, the franchise has the opportunity to reach people who may have heard about Yellowstone for years, but never actually had the chance to watch it. Another reason the franchise benefits from network exposure is visibility. Even in the age of streaming, network television still plays a huge role in shaping mainstream pop culture. Shows that air weekly on broadcast channels often generate more casual conversation because they're easier to discover. Someone flipping through channels might stumble upon a new episode and decide to give it a shot. That kind of organic discovery is much harder to achieve on streaming platforms, where viewers usually need to search for something specific. This is where a show like Marshals becomes incredibly important. Instead of focusing solely on the Dutton family ranch, Marshals explores another side of the same universe, the law enforcement perspective. That shift allows the Yellowstone world to feel bigger and more complex while still maintaining the tone and themes that fans already love. More importantly, it shows that the franchise doesn't have to rely on a single platform to succeed. In fact, spreading its stories across multiple types of television could make the universe even stronger. Cable shows, streaming exclusives, and network series can all coexist while serving different audiences. There's also a strategic advantage when it comes to long-term growth. Television history shows that franchises survive longer when they expand their reach. If Yellowstone remains limited to specific platforms, its growth could eventually plateau. But if new series appear across broadcast networks, streaming services, and cable channels, the franchise has a much better chance of staying relevant for years to come. Another key factor is how network television encourages more structured storytelling. Broadcast shows typically release episodes weekly, creating a shared viewing experience. Fans discuss theories, analyze plot developments, and build anticipation for the next episode together. That kind of communal excitement helped Yellowstone itself grow into a cultural phenomenon. With more network-based shows in the franchise, that same weekly conversation could happen again and again with new characters and new stories. Of course, this doesn't mean the franchise should abandon streaming or cable entirely. Those platforms allow for more creative flexibility, longer episodes, and sometimes darker storytelling. Instead, the smartest strategy may be balance. Some shows can remain premium streaming events, while others act as more accessible entry points on network television. Think of network shows as the front door to the Yellowstone universe. They introduce new viewers to the tone, themes, and world-building that define the franchise. Once those viewers become invested, they're much more likely to explore the other series connected to it. In many ways, this approach mirrors what some of the biggest entertainment franchises in the world already do. They spread their stories across multiple platforms, allowing each project to reach a slightly different audience while still contributing to the same larger universe. For the Yellowstone franchise, The early success of Marshals suggests that this strategy could work extremely well. If the show continues to draw strong ratings, it sends a clear signal that audiences are more than willing to follow this world onto network TV. And if that happens, it wouldn't be surprising to see even more Yellowstone spin-offs developed specifically for broadcast audiences. At the end of the day, the Yellowstone universe thrives on expansion. Every new show adds another piece to the larger puzzle of power, loyalty, and survival in the modern American West. Bringing more of those stories to network television doesn't just grow the audience, it strengthens the entire franchise. Because the bigger the stage, the bigger the story can become.